Alrighty, well, today we are going outside because it's nice weather today. As long as I can tolerate the cold. You can hear the birdies. I'm gonna go in the back. Hopefully we don't get interrupted. I was gonna do in the courtyard, but a lot of people working on the garden. So let's see here. There's like a little spot here. Now I have to go in the grass. I think it's dry enough. So hold on. Woo! Okay, that was fun. Oh. Sidewalk. Okay. Oh yeah. So it's really nice here, you know, trees and little plants here and there. I don't want to be too much in the sun. But anyway, I have to go to the doctor on next week. And this is a new physician, so I have to think about ways and the different things that I have to do. Sorry about that. I just blocked the camera. I know, I'm in your space. And anyway, I am, so it was just those ideas that I had about, you know, going to a new doctor for the first time. And, you know, the little things that we have to do, you know, plan transportation, alert the doctor that I'm in a wheelchair and that it's really needed that we have an accessible exam table. A lot of times they don't think of that ahead of time, so I'm just sending the message. I just called this morning to alert them and to have them, you know, kind of prepare, be prepared for that. And I also arranged my transportation already, so all of that is set. Now, this is a clinic where I have trouble with the traffic, so we're going to see how all that goes. And also, you know, the doctor will be evaluating me, but I'll also be evaluating her. You know, and this is something that sometimes we forget to do or are intimidated of doing, but you can also evaluate the doctor. So this is really important. If you have a doctor that's just not up your alley, doesn't listen to you, disrespects you in any way, you know, doesn't prepare for the appointment with an accessible exam table, and does the exams just kind of haphazard, you know, you can change doctors. You can either make the comment to the doctor and say, hey, you can't always examine me when I'm in the wheelchair. You're just not going to pick up what you need to pick up, you know, and I think you agree with that. So let's find an office, or for you to spot an office with an accessible exam table so that you can examine me properly and not have to put in your notes that you weren't able to do this or that because you examined me from the exam table. So it's those little details, you know, how prepared is this doctor and are they willing to go, you know, the little extra mile? I already called this morning and just said, you know, I just want to alert this new doctor that I am in a wheelchair. If she's going to examine me, you know, we need an accessible exam table, period. So truly, this is important for medical treatments. If you have a doctor who's just, you know, not treating you in a way that you feel comfortable, I think it might be time to change doctors. I've had a couple of those. Not many, not many. I had one in cardiology that I will not see because he was rude and his nurse was even worse. So, it's that kind of thing. And I just said to my new cardiologist, I said, no, I'm not going to see him. He clearly stated he never wanted to see me again. So guess what? I don't either. So it goes both ways. It really does go both ways. So he chuckles and schedules me with somebody else. I know this electrophysiologist, cardiologist is a good doc, but he's a jerk. So, but anyway, that's important for you to evaluate your physicians that you have right now. And if there's somebody who you just can't connect with and they're just rude and all that kind of stuff, you can change docs. That's not a problem. Not a problem at all. So truly evaluate them after your visit and see how you felt. Most of my docs are women, but I have a few who are male, and sometimes the male doctors are better. But I don't know. I don't know. It's just the personality that I evaluate and how they connect with me, if they engage appropriately in the conversation, if they're listening, that kind of thing. Because, again, it goes both ways. You respect me, I respect you. Let's listen to each other, ask questions, and not waste each other's time on insults and I don't want to see you ever again. It's like, well, guess what? You just earned the prize. So truly, it's those little steps that we need to do, and that's okay. And hopefully the doctor's office will be ready and open to do what is needed. My concern is that if a doctor just doesn't examine you because you're in a wheelchair, or they just skip a whole bunch of steps and just put in their notes, well, couldn't examine a patient because she was in a wheelchair. No, I don't think so. They gotta be smart about that and just know that, I like the other view. They just really have to be smart about that and be willing to do that extra mile for you and for themselves, to make good notes and to know that you are worth it to go the extra mile. And if they see you as worth it, then you in turn can say, okay, she's worth it. I'll stick with her for a little while, see how it goes, So, I'm kind of touchy that way. I listen to my docs. Hopefully they listen to me. And, this is kind of an uncomfortable appointment for me, kind of fragile appointment. So we'll see how it goes. And, I have enough doctors. I don't need another one, but I have a little problem I can't solve myself. So, and I've been holding out, and now it's time not to hold out anymore and see what kind of assistance they can give me. So, just got a sidewalk issue there. So that is my big issue. Going to the doctor for the first time. Oh, sorry, I have to go through the grass here. Woo! Going around the gate because it's always closed. Back to the sidewalk. Oh, yes. But it is a nice day. As you can see, I'm wearing my sunglasses. And I'll sit right here for a little while. I think there's enough sun, yeah. So, yeah. It is really a nice day. And start the day off positive, even though Monday you have an appointment you don't want to go to. I'm going to think positive. I'm going to do everything to be joyful and to be positive about this appointment, and hopefully everything will go well and they'll be able to help me. So, yeah. So, what kind of things have you had to do for your appointments? You know, make some notes down below. What kind of things have you experienced with doctors that are just off the wall? I remember having a doctor in the hospital for rehab, and he was just awful. Absolutely. He was Jekyll and Hyde. Pure Jekyll and Hyde. So then when I got released from the hospital, guess what? I had him again as an outpatient, and I thought, oh, heck no. So I just went to the main desk and I said, look, I'm not seeing this doc until someone comes in with him. A nurse will have to be there until, you know, because I just can't do this anymore. And then they assigned a physician to him. And what that means is that they've noticed that something is wrong. The patients have been complaining. And so they assigned him another doctor. So when he came in the last time, he was with another doctor. I thought, uh-oh, he's in trouble. And he was. Soon after that started, then they called it retirement, but they really dismissed him, I think, from the clinic because it was just too problematic. And he was older. It was time for him to retire anyway, and take care of his behavioral health, whatever was going on there. But, you know, truly, if someone is behaving like that towards you, it's not worth it. They're not worth it. If they can't see the worth in you, how can you see the worth in them? You know? So, again, it goes both ways. They can assess you, but you are also assessing them. So I just want to drive that home, and for you to think about the doctors you have and if you need to change somebody. You know? A lot of times they want to take my weight. There's no accessible scale. It's like, nope, no weight today. So it's just crazy. But yeah, I have some requirements of my physicians, and that is just basic respect. The other one is accessibility, for them to be aware and proactive on that side. And if they can do those two things, then we have a winner. We have a winner. So share with us, you know, what kind of situations you are caught in with a crazy doctor, and share how you solve that situation. But I want to say to anybody out there in a wheelchair who has a physician who is not respectful to you, then truly feel free to change doctors as soon as possible. All right. Take care, everyone. Feel free to give us a like and subscribe, and I'll see everyone in the next one. Don't forget to review other videos. It might be helpful to you, and I'll see you soon.